Good afternoon again, Algebra 2 students. In this set of videos, we're going to be looking at how to solve rational equations. A rational equation is an equation where x is in the denominator of a fraction, and my job is to solve for x. Get x all by itself and be able to point and say that x equals this particular number to make this equation work. Now, our first rational equation that we see here behaves like a proportion would. I have one ratio set equal to another ratio. I'm going to use a trick that you learned a long time ago with proportions in order to solve this equation. So let me give an example. If I had a proportion such as 1/2 is equal to 2/4, which I think is common knowledge, when I look at a proportion, if this is true, which it is, then the cross products of that proportion must be equal to each other. When I say cross products, I mean if I were to take 1 times 4, I would get 4. And then if I take 2 times 2, I also get 4. So when I have a proportion, one ratio that equals another ratio, the cross products must be equal. I'm going to use that idea to then solve this equation. Rather than having to deal with x's in the denominator, I'm going to use cross products to solve. So I'm going to take 7, numerator on the left, times 2x minus 10, the denominator on the right. And since this looks like a proportion, I know that 7 times 2x minus 10 must equal the other denominator, x minus 2, times 11. Now what I have is a linear equation that looks a lot easier to solve. So now I'm going to use any kind of method that I've learned in the past in pre-algebra, algebra 1, or earlier in algebra 2 in order to solve for x. I will get rid of parentheses by distributing. So I distribute the 7 to get 14x minus 70. On the right side, I distribute the 11. It turns into 11x minus 22. And again, I just need to get x all by itself. I'm going to combine some like terms by subtracting 11x from both sides. I'm going to add 70 to both sides. 14x minus 11x is 3x. The 70's cancel. The 11's cancel here. Negative 22 plus 70, that's 48. And now the last step to solve for x is I need to divide both sides by 3. So I can say that x is equal to 16. Now, before we put a circle or a square around our answer, we should probably plug it in and check it out and make sure that it works. So remember that 16 is the answer. If I plug 16 into my original equation, 16 minus 2 is 14. 7 divided by 14, that's 1/2. 16 times 2 here is 32. Minus 10 is 22. And 11 divided by 22 is also 1/2. 1/2 does equal 1/2. X equals 16 must be the correct answer.